you keep trying to say that you were trying to prove that Maori can also make good TV and good dramas.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the training that you would suggest maybe young writers uh, take in order to become a good maybe dramatic writers or screenwriters?
Um, well, I think they should go to writing schools. You know, there's a number of writing schools here, good writing schools. South Seas Film School runs, like film, television, drama school, universities. And so I really think that writers should learn to write. We have short film funding available from the Film Commission. So I've been part of a team that is funding a number of short films, and because the short films are good for those wanting to make films, because you have to learn how to work in a team. Because if making a film or even a television show isn't about one person, it's about a whole team. And so I think there's probably not enough of our people learning writing for drama and writing for feature films, because there's not a lot of money in it. You know, there's not that much work out there to do, but it's something that I think we need to learn to write a bit more, because we always have a lot of Pākehā or non-Māori writers writing in the drama field, because they've been doing it for years. But I think we need to grow a lot more of our own Māori writers in this field. Still a lot of work to do. I'm funny because I've never been to a drama school.
Yes.
I've never been to a writing school. I've just worked in the industry for years and just learned the ropes along the way.
Yes.
You know, so I think writing is a very powerful medium, and understanding script writing is, because that's your money in the bank. If you haven't got a script, you haven't got anything. So if you make a short films are only short scripts, but you should have a feature film script straight after. You know, if you get it made, because that's what the funder's looking for. What have you got next? What have you got next? What have you got next? So I think I suggest people should go and learn script writing. Television writing is, I don't know where you go and learn that from, because if you're a journalist, that's a very good basis for making television, but television is very different. So documentary making is good for journalism. The news, I was never a news person, but at the end of the day, you can go and learn stuff, but it's about the reality of working on the job every day that teaches you. Most of the young ones that come in from a training organisation, it takes them a while to be able to get into the groove of making their own things. It's adequate enough, but when you're in the real game, there's a lot more you learn that you don't learn in the school. So I think you have to attach yourself to people that know the business well. And that's always hard, because we don't want these young ones tagging around behind us all the time, and then we've got to find some money to pay them and all that kind of thing. So,
What was maybe you mentioned the 3-act format of TV that you talked about, the original idea of your story and what people told you to write it in the 3-act format for TV. What is that? What is that 3-act format?
Oh, just if you're writing a drama or a film, there's this thing called the 3-act structure.
Structure, yes.
And that's really about setting up the story. Who's the main character? Who's the antagonist? And then moving into the structure of how the story goes up and down and up and down. How you end the story. The second part of the story. The obstacles that the characters have to go through to learn something new, to defeat what their foe, and the end of the story. So the first part is your setup. The second part of the second act is really your story, how the story flows, the obstacles you've got to overcome, and what makes it intriguing. What elements of the story are conflicting, so that the audience are going, "Wow, I wonder what he's going to do now." You know, and then the third act is really your resolution of the story, and it's not necessarily part one, part two, part three. You know, at 7 minutes there's a commercial break, although you do have to factor that in.
Okay.
The 3-act structure is really like a Shakespearean play. How the story will move from setup to the middle part of the story, and then the end, beginning, middle, and end. So we had to learn that.
Okay, is that what most TV producers expect your work to look like? That?
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but I would say if you were writing storylining and writing drama and films, you do have to know that. And once you do know that, then you can change it around to make it. If you're very knowledgeable at that, you can change the story around to fit a different structure. But most stories will still have, you know, because you want to hook the character, the audience straight away.
Yes.
So you got to do something right in the front that's going to hook them in, and make them want to follow the story. So we felt that our culture could do that, that our cultural stories could actually be brought into the structure of cinematic storytelling. It fits it easily.
And the training from SPP is more practical than the writing school.
SPP, well, they had their main writers, so we would sit down and say, "Here's an idea, and here's our story," and then the writers would make suggestions. Their main writing crew would go, "Well, we think the character should do this, and maybe you should do this instead," you know. And then we would have to go back and rewrite. So we did a lot of writing for years to get it right. You know, they didn't do the writing, we did it. So they were teaching, advising us on these things, you know, just to make the stories work well and understand that structure of storytelling. And they were very gracious. It wasn't like a school. It was just, we just did it when we got together, and then we'd show them, and then they'd give us some notes. And they were really story consultants, really, at the end of the day. And we kind of really just learnt on the ropes. But SPP is a very good place for young ones coming through to learn the ropes of production. You know, from being a runner to doing the admin of how a crew runs, feeding the crew, working with actors, you know, all those sorts of things. SPP is always a pretty amazing place to work for if you can get jobs in there. You know, so a lot of our people had already been in the business and other aspects of it, but we were trying to pull them all together to work on this, which they did. We had amazing art people, amazing people who worked in that industry, who really felt strongly about making something Māori. Yeah, so writing school, I would love to go to writing school if I had the time. But I just do it now. I just do it.